What's up guys? Welcome back to Dougie's Dojo, the series of videos in which we explore the basics of judo techniques. We're looking at practicing by yourself at home so that you can make the most of your practice sessions at your club and give you a better chance of pulling off those throws when you're doing randori or competition. We're looking at exaggerating moves because you're working with your invisible partner, and most importantly, you're trying to get those basics right. Trying to make sure that you are not ignoring some of the basic things you've got to have in order to pull off those throws. Now once you've practiced the throw enough, you're going to develop your own style, that's fine. Today I'm showing you some of the basics that you need to think about when you're practicing your techniques. Today we're going to look at O-uchi-gari, the major inner reaping throw. We're going to look at the use of the hands, use of the head, use of the hips, and use of the legs and the knees, most importantly. Let's start with the hands. Now, when my students are practicing O-uchi-gari, a lot of the times there's absolutely nothing happening. So this is what a bad uchikomi for O-uchi-gari is going to look like. It's going to be something like this. We're going to be seeing a lot of this. And that's not really working. First up, hands. What are the hands doing? You've got one hand gripping the lapel. That's this hand here. My other hand is gripping the sleeve. This is a standard grip. Of course, you may have a variation on that grip, in which case you want to really visualize that when you're practicing by yourself. Okay? But here I've got my hand on the lapel, this hand on the sleeve, and both are pulling down. Both are pulling down. Hand on the sleeve, I've got the sleeve bunched up, and I'm pushing down, pushing the wrist down and pushing down as I come in. That arm should be straight. There. That arm is straight, the wrist is turned as I come in. This hand on the lapel, I like to give it a shake to the side and down. And down. Now this is a standard grip, this is not over the top grip. That would be a different technique. Standard grip on the collar, out and down. So the two hands coming down like that. Okay? Out and down gives my chest entry into the opponent. There. Alright? Left hand on the sleeve, pulling down. Right hand opening up the lapel and pulling down, putting weight on that shoulder. I'm trying to put weight down on that shoulder. There. Alright? So that's what the hands are busy doing in the standard version of O-uchi-gari. My head is going to the opposite shoulder. I'm pulling down with my hands here. My head's going to come and rest on my opponent's shoulder. That's what I'm trying to get. I'm looking in here. I'm bringing my weight in this side, not this side. Hands are pulling down here. Weight's coming in here. So my hands are pulling here. My head is pointing over here, on the other side of my opponent's head. There. Alright? But I want to be ready to look in that direction. That's where I'm going to throw. Always look in the direction that you're going to throw. Hands, head. The reason I'm not coming in on the same side, that I haven't got my head on this side, that I'm pulling down here, you might think I'm doing that. If you do that, you're prone to being counted, because all your weight's on one side, you're prone to being counted. So you want a balanced entry. The hands are pulling down here, you're putting weight on this leg, but the head is over here, so that you can't be counted that way. Hips. Hips are very important, always hips are very important, and the most important thing we've got to do is lower the hips. Your body is coming in to your smack into your opponent up as upright as you can. As upright as you can. It's like you're doing a hoppo bumpo. Don't know if you ever played hoppo bumpo when you're a kid and you had to use your chest to bump someone over. That's what we're trying to do in this classical style O-uchi-gari. So when we're entering, thrusting the hips forward and down. Got to be down, knees are fully bent. I'll step back and I'll show you from the side. Here, thrusting those hips forward, not back here. If your hips are back, you're not going to get much traction with the legs. So we're trying to bring those hips forward each time. in there. Hands are pulling, head's over this side, hips are down because the knees are bent. If you don't bend those knees, if you come in here, then you're prone to being taken over the top, either this way or that way. Always try and bend those knees. This is one of the basic things that often judoka will forget. Of course, we're in a rush. It's randori or it's competition. You're in a hurry, you don't want to be counted, so you rush it. And what we forget, when we forget to bend those knees as we come in, we're open to a counter too easily. So those knees have to be bent. The right leg steps in deep, the left leg comes in behind, and this provides some power. In, there. Now first you can just go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. As you get better and better, when you've done a couple of hundred O-uchi-gari over however many days, you can speed that up a bit. Alright? So 1, 2. Alright. Last thing for O-uchi-gari. One of these basics is your reaping. There are various styles of reaping that you can do for O-uchi-gari. Your classical style is to take your big toe and draw a circle on the mat. Imagine that you are a human compass, the sort of compass that draws a pencil circle on a bit of paper, and your big toe is drawing a circle. 1, 2, 1, 2, and in. And as you do that, you're committing your weight forward. 1, 2, comes around, and there goes your weight. Because your opponent's under it. 1, 2, down. As that foot comes back, your weight should be coming forward. There. If not, perhaps you haven't got enough force on your opponent coming back. So the key points, hands are pulling out and down. One hand on the sleeve, one hand on the collar. Hips are coming in low, your body is upright. Knees are bent, always. Head is locking to your opponent's other shoulder, ready to turn with the sweep. And finally that sweep, nice big circular action. Right. And that's classical O-uchi-gari. Like any throw, there are lots of versions, and in later videos we'll come back to that and have a look at those. But for now, you can improve your judo, do 10 O-uchi-gari a day in between your judo sessions at your club, and suddenly you're going to be a little bit better than that guy who's been giving you a hard time perhaps on the mat, and gives you a better chance. Keep up the training, keep up the good work, and we'll see you next time in the next video.